Hey everyone. So I haven't really filmed a video in a while, but yeah, I just didn't really feel like it. But today I guess I have something to talk about. It's kind of just something I want to get off my chest. It's kind of about my grades in college and also my depression. Um I guess anyone who has depression knows how much it affects you, like in your daily life, um, and how frustrating it is when you know what potential you have. I'm not saying I'm like a genius and I'm like the smartest person in the entire world, but I know I'm smart, and it's so frustrating that I really have depression like 80% of the time. Okay, well, my depression, my feelings are split into three different parts. 80% of the time I'm depressed, but it's not like a deep sadness. It's just a lack of motivation. That's all. And it's frustrating because it affects my studies. It affects me, me trying to exercise. That is why my depression is the reason for my inconsistency. And the fact that it's there 80% of the time is just so frustrating, because it means that I won't be consistent 80% of the time. 10% is dedicated to me being actually sad, depressed, like sad. And then another 10% is me being actually happy and feeling really like just feeling like I can do anything. When I'm in this happy state, I feel like I'm like on top of the world, and I can study. I'm going to study everything for the exam in a month. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat right. But it doesn't last very long. And obviously I enjoy it in the moment, but I can't help but think when this feeling is going to go away, I'm going to go back to my usual depressed state that I'm having low motivation in. And it just fucks everything up for me. Like, I'm so sick and tired of my friends in college getting higher grades than me. Like, consistently, they have higher grades than me. And sometimes we both, I'm gonna say cheat, but for purposes of this video, I'm lying. And they'll still get a higher result than me. And that's frustrating, and I don't know if it's just because they have more of a care to try and get everything right, whereas if I looked it up and I get the answer, I'm just putting that down and I don't care. I just want to be done with this test. It's just so frustrating. Like, oh, it's so frustrating because genuinely I'm when I'm in that happy state, I am quite studious, and I am I'm pretty good at exams. I don't get stressed about exams. I don't get anxiety about exams. I get really bad stress and anxiety over if I have to perform something in real life, like orals. In taekwondo, I used to have to perform in front of judges, and that used to stress me the fuck out and gives me anxiety, which leads me to forget things. But in exams, like written exams, I never have performance anxiety. I'm able to pretty much always do well when I am not depressed. When I'm depressed, I have no motivation to do anything really. And the fact that it's not like it's like 50% of the time I don't feel like it, or 40% of the time, or even 60, like 80% of the time I don't want to do shit. And it's so frustrating. And it's not like it took me so long to realize that it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Like, there's so many things, you know, that could have went wrong, but knowing that you are capable of doing really well in exams, there are so many people who are just not capable. And they go on and do other things. Okay, exams aren't for everyone. I'm the number one advocate for when I've always been that person to say school isn't for everyone, and it's absolutely not. And I'm a great example of it, because just I can do amazing in exams, but because I suffer with a mental illness, I can't most of the time, even though I have that capability. But anyway, others don't have that capability, and it's fine. We don't all need academic geniuses. We need people to do physical work and shit like that, so it's fine. But knowing that you're capable, but knowing that I'll never amount to anything that I'm capable of because of this illness that I have. Like, I have to go to a college where the pass mark is low. Otherwise, I won't pass. If I was in a like better college that had, like, let's just say higher points to get into, obviously the pass mark, the threshold, it's going to be different. It's going to be harder. And just like, I wouldn't be able for that. Like, and it's nothing to do with my intelligence. It's to do with a mental illness that I have no control over. Like, absolutely no control over. I can just wake up one day and be like, most days I wake up and I can, like, my depression has never stopped me from, like, brushing my teeth or, like, getting up out of bed. Like, I tend to be able to do that, yeah, but it stops me from, like, having the motivation to listen in class, or go home and study, or go home and just write the notes. Like, not even put in, like, that much effort. Like, it's just so hard. It's so incredibly difficult, like, dealing with it every day. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like this, and why is it fair? How is it fair that I have just as much potential as some of my other friends, but they got 500 points in their leaving cert and I didn't, because I was severely depressed during my entire leaving cert. And I don't know, I was definitely less depressed last year when I worked full time. Before that was my leaving cert, and I was the most depressed I've ever been my entire life that year. And now I'm back to this depressed state. So I figured out that I think what, like, triggers my depression a bit is just these kinds of academic settings, like the structured, like, a school setting. I think that makes it worse. But I have to do college. I have to do something. Like, it just frustrates me that if I didn't have this illness, then I could have gotten high points in my leaving cert. I could have gotten into a really good college and a really good course where I could have, first of all, done Erasmus, because my fucking course doesn't have Erasmus and I really want to go to a different country. But most of all, have a good salary when I come out. And it makes me so annoyed that I know I'm capable of that, but I'll never be able to amount to that. That's my rant.